Hi class, today's lesson is lesson 7-2. Our purpose for today is to use a table to find equivalent ratios and rates. No vocabulary terms for today, nor is there an illustration. We're going to go straight to the example. The instructions read, use a table to find three equivalent ratios. Our ratio here is 8 to 3. 8 to 3. Now, question that has popped up is, how do we know something's a ratio, or how do we know something's a fraction? Well, all fractions are ratios, but in this case they have to tell you whether or not it's a ratio when it's written this way. So 8 to 3, we know this is a ratio. One way in which we can find equivalent ratios is by using a table, and what we do here is we simply multiply. For example, in this next column we'll just multiply the original numbers by 2, just as if we were doing it for fractions. 8 times 2 is 16. 3 times 2 is 6. So 16, 6. And the next one, we can find an equivalent fraction. We can multiply it by 3. Why not multiply it by 5? All right, so 8 times 5 is 40. 5 times 3 is 15. Another equivalent fraction, well, let's multiply it by 100. I shouldn't say equivalent fraction, but equivalent ratio. We have 8 times 100. Here is 800. And 3 times 100 is 300. Okay, so there we have 16 to 6, 40 to 15, 800 to 300. Of course, we multiplied by 5 to get the 40 to 15 here. Next, we have another ratio. And in this case, we're going to divide. Now, you can either divide or multiply to find equivalent ratios. Here, I'm going to divide this by 2. And when we divide by 2, we get 20 and 8. We're going to divide by 2 again. Divide by 2, divide by 2, or divide this by 2. Or we can actually divide the original by 4. Either way, we're going to go ahead and find another equivalent ratio. 10 and 4. Now we're going to divide this by 2. We're going to divide 10 to 4 by 2, and what do we get? We get, of course, a 5 and a 2. All right. Our next example, it's a word problem. It says a group of friends is in line to see a movie. The table shows how much different groups will pay in all. Predict how much the group of 10 will pay. So let's go ahead and try to understand the table first of all. We understand here the number in the group is 3, then they're going to pay a total of $15. If the number in the group is 5, they're going to pay $25. If there are 6 people in the group, they pay $30. If there are 12 people in the group, they're $60. So when I look at 10, 10 belongs somewhere between 6 and 12. So I know the cost for the entire group. I'm going to estimate, this is my estimation, the cost for 10 people will be, well, it's going to be around between $30 and $60. Okay? It's going to be between $30 and $60. What that is, what that ratio is, we've got to find out. So let's go ahead and figure that out. I look at the number 10 and I see that it is a multiple of 5. In other words, 5 is a factor. So if I just take that 5 to 25, and I want to take it to where there's 10 people, I just need to multiply this by 2, which means I need to multiply the amount paid by 2, 25 times 2, to get 50. So my answer is $50. Now, is that in line with my estimate? Is $50 between 30 and 60? Absolutely. My answer, $50. Lastly, we have to complete the problem. here you're going to use a table to find three equivalent ratios, and I do mean a table. I want you to draw an actual table, place the ratio 24:16 in it, and find three other ratios. Now you can either, as the hint says, divide or multiply. The last problem is a word problem, similar to the one that I did in the last example. I'm not going to go ahead and talk about it. I want you to go ahead and try it out. Remember to estimate first as well. That'll be helpful. We'll see you in class.